crunchy. Hey everybody, welcome to Static Show. This is Bob.
Hey everyone, this is Miles with Static Radio.
Miles?
Miles. Old
Okay.
Miles. Old
Go
Miles.
figure.
Old Miles. Yeah. Static Radio.
Yeah, exactly.
It's free form, unscripted
Okay.
program featuring comedy and such.
And such. Okay. Sounds good.
So that's your introduction. That's the introduction.
All right. I was going to go
First
straight to you, so, I was waiting for you to...
Oh, no, we usually chit-chat for about 5 minutes, but we're going to skip the chit-chat this week. I have a story, but I need you to make it funny, okay? This really isn't funny, but I need you to make it funny.
You need me to make it funny. I don't know how that's going to happen, but okay.
Yeah. All right. So I have my kids, they're, early 20s, I suppose,
The kids are getting older.
They're getting older, and they still kind of have the same friends they had back in high school, which is fine. But these kids, I don't know why, but these kids are like all into guns. I don't know why. It's just, I'm not against guns, but these guys are like super into guns, right? I'm like,
okay, that's weird.
I'm like, whatever, live and let live. I don't really care. And so I thought, I would just have a nice quiet weekend. It's been snowy, cold, and my youngest son, has decided to hit me up for a ride.
Ride to where?
He goes, Dad, my friends, they want to go to a gun show.
Oh, you went to a gun show, really? Oh, cool.
I attempted to go to a gun show. Yes, I attempted to go.
Okay, what?
I'm like, well, I don't really want to go, but why do I have to go? Well, I kind of misplaced my wallet.
What? He lost his wallet?
Okay. You lost your wallet? Yep, it's gone.
Did he go?
Right.
Is this going to be one of those wacky '80s comedies where he went down to Tijuana and?
I don't know. It's been missing for like a week now. I'm like, okay, well, it's not my problem, but okay.
He's been down to Tijuana, and then they went to a lady of the evening, and he lost his wallet there.
My son was out whoring. Is that what you're saying? I mean, I don't know.
I was trying to be, a little better than that, but.
Yeah. No, I don't know. Yeah. No, my son probably would not. He'd be very embarrassing to go whoring, I think. He'd be very embarrassed to do that. And
he did lose his wallet.
No, he's like, but my son doesn't even have a gun or anything. He's just like, well, I want to go. I want to go. I'm like, okay.
Okay.
And he wants to take like two friends with him, and one has kind of like an older vehicle that probably would not make it there,
Mm-hmm.
Right. And then the second kid, I go, well, why don't you take this kid's car? Well, it's full of junk, and he won't clean it out.
Okay.
I like, what am I dealing with, Bob Lament? What the,
really.
Geez.
My old car used to be full of junk, yeah.
I'm like, what? Well, I can't. I go, clean up your car. Well, I can't do it.
I can't do it.
These freaking millennials, it's driving me crazy. I'm like, okay, I don't really want to do this, but I will go.
You're a nice dad.
I'm a pushover. I'm the Uber around here, so I'm like, all right, I'll
go. The Uber. They call me Uber.
I go, and so it was a little bit of a haul to go up there, and we get up to where they were having it at, and they must have had a snowstorm up north, I guess, or something. But it was like, wow, there's a lot of snow.
A lot of snow.
And
what day was this? What day was this, by the way?
This was on this past Saturday.
Okay.
And
There was a snowstorm on Friday up that way.
well, yeah, I mean, we really didn't get anything where I live,
Yeah.
but it's like all like SUVs, big pickup trucks, and you know, all this. I'm like, this looks bad because this place looks packed.
Oh,
And sure enough,
On the COVID.
like we're driving, and there's like probably about two or three hundred people in line, like standing in line.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going, this sucks.
No
And like
restrictions. No COVID
no one has a
restrictions.
mask on. No one has a mask on at all. They're just all
Mm-hmm.
standing there like, oh boy, okay. Because I am okay. I do like masks. I think maybe that is a good idea. I'm sorry, but
Mm-hmm.
it is what it is.
Nah,
And
I would do the same thing.
I'm driving around. I'm actually following people, because I'm like, okay, where do we park? There's like nowhere to park. Nowhere to park.
Huh.
And I go, guys, if we park it by these trucks, I go, we're never going to get out. I guarantee it. You guys are going to have to push this car out. There's like no way. So after like an hour and a half of driving, we had to give up on the mission. I felt like Apollo 13. I'm like, what the?
You didn't even go?
No, gentlemen, we've lost the moon. I was like, no, no, I didn't see any sense in it because I had to take a leak anyway. I go, there's no way I'm going to be able to stand out here for like an hour and a half.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an old guy now,
Yeah, and his friends are like, God, would you bring your dad drivers for? He can't even
Dad's a
hold
big
his
pussy.
can't even
Your
hold
dad's
his
a pussy. I told you.
water.
I told you not to bring your dad. He's stupid. Look at him.
I told you to catheter the old man before we left.
I know. Snake a tube down his leg,
That's
let him
right.
piss into a Pepsi can or something. I don't.
Mm.
And it was just actually, and without much, thought, it's like, okay, well, we're just gonna go to the mall, I guess. Like a bunch of young girls. I'm like, oh, fuck.
You went to the mall?
Yeah, we ended up going to a mall for like 3 hours. I'm like, oh my god.
How did going to the gun show turn into a day at the mall?
It did because there was like, we got up there. It was like, okay, well, what do we do now? I was like, I don't know.
I don't know. I want to go to the mall.
I don't know. You want to go to the mall? I mean, I want to go to Hooters, but all these little, like, oh, you can't do that, Mr. Title. We can't see boobies and stuff. I'm like, all right, okay, we'll just go to, Fuselli's or whatever the hell they have there, at Sobranos or something.
Sabaros.
Sabaros or whatever the fuck it is. Yeah, I was like, all right. So now we've gone from like a manly gun show into like a teenage girl,
Oh my god.
adventure at the mall. I'm like, oh my god.
What kind of wacky, weird stuff is that?
I know. I'm like immediately like I want to break off from this group. I'm like, listen, why don't we split up? And I get this weird look from everybody like, what? I'm like, it's okay. You guys, listen, you don't need some old man following you around. Just you do young guy stuff. I'll do old guy stuff,
Like go to the bathroom a lot, apparently.
Go to the bathroom. Yes, that was my first trip. Yes, I was like, bathroom, thank you. Thank you.
I gotta be within 50 feet of this bathroom.
Yeah, I know. Thank God I didn't have to go poop. But yeah, I had to take a leak.
Lord. I'm gonna be going between the restaurant, the food court, and the bathroom. That's my only two places.
Yeah. So I was a.
So did you go buy Spencer gifts and look at the vibrators and?
I don't know. Do they have a Spencer? I don't know. They went to was it current something topic? What is it?
Hot Topic.
Hot Topic. Yeah, Hot Topic. Yeah.
Hot Pockets. Yeah, Hot Pockets.
Yeah, old guys can't get the names of things right. I'm like, they got the thing here. I buy the thing and the.
I want to go buy the Hot Pocket, Dad. Okay.
It's just the most.
I lost my kid. He's at the Hot Pocket. What? You mean that place in Tijuana where everybody loses their wallet?
Nah, yeah, that's where he's at. And I eventually get a call from my son. He's like, "Oh, well, you can join up with us if you want." I mean, I'm like, "Oh, okay, all right." because I was like sleeping in the car. I went back to the car and actually went to sleep for a little
Oh
while.
my God, you're sleeping,
I'm like, I'm
pissing.
tired. I'm tired.
I just want to get some ice cream and take a nap.
I know, I had to hustle the candy man in there. Like, all right, give me some candy. Give me a deal on candy.
Yeah, I gotta. There's a game. I gotta listen on the radio.
Yeah, I know. I'm doing all this old guy stuff. I show up. There's like a part of the mall I didn't even know existed. They're like, oh yeah, we're down here. I'm like, what?
What?
Oh wow, I didn't know there's part of the mall existed. Holy cow! Like,
Where's the store with all the sexy posters?
You got any booby posters?
Where's the one with the lady that's playing tennis and she's scratching her butt and she's got no pants on?
Do you got the dogs playing pool? Do you got that one? And it's just like the most indecisive group of people you ever met. Like, what do you guys want to do?
I can't believe you didn't make it to the actual gun show. You could have, at the very least, gone to the mall for a little while and then gone back to the gun show once the line died down.
I think these guys just blew all their money or something at the frickin' mall after a while because I'm like, I'm not spending, I'm not buying people bullets and crap. You guys spend your own frickin' money, whatever.
I'm not buying you no bullets, kids.
Give me back. So, so I was just like, I'm watching, the security kick out little kids out of the mall and stuff. And that was kind of neat, get out. Stuff like that.
While you were sitting in the car?
No, I was actually in the mall. Like I had met up again with the millennials.
Oh, okay.
And we were kind of just like, walking around because no one can make a decision. It's just all like, I don't know.
Oh, no.
You guys want to go in this place? I don't know.
Oh.
Well, I'm going to go in here. How about you guys stay out here and with your thumbs up your butts? And I'm going to go inside this door. All right. Well, we're going to go look at shoes, I guess.
Oh, my Lord.
All right.
Well, it's interesting that you talk about malls because, the new Wonder Woman movie set in 1984, which you were alive and kicking at that point in time. And they have a big mall scene, and nobody, malls now are nostalgia.
Right.
Because a lot of them are closed and everything. And so I'm surprised. I mean, were all the stores open? It was like a full mall or was like half dead?
It was. No, the only store, there was like no empties. The only thing was like the GameStop was going out of business.
Huh. Really?
There was almost like an empty store, but they were still open. I'm like, what's the point? There's nothing in here you could buy. There's nothing.
We're selling shelves. We're selling shelves.
We're just selling time, I guess. Yeah.
Interesting. How strange.
Because I live by a little mall, and it's like almost dead. I mean, it's on life support at this point, right?
Right, yeah. Huh.
This is a much bigger mall, and this one is going all great. Like, oh, yeah. Yep.
Well, you do live in a colder climate, so I think that malls probably...
shit. Yeah, yeah.
Maybe malls are more vibrant in the cold areas.
I don't know. But,
gives people something to do.
Yeah. So that was my exciting Saturday. Yeah.
Now, as a kid, did you go to the mall though? When you were young?
Yes. We lived by a huge mall by Aurora, Naperville called Fox Valley.
Yeah, I know the Fox. I remember visiting once, and we took the journey into the Fox Valley Mall, which took forever.
My wife made me go there like every frickin' weekend.
Yeah, I remember.
Which was bad because I had like irritable bowel syndrome at the time.
At the time,
and it was like
you've had it ever since. What are you talking about?
It was like 45 minutes, like. One way, so that's not good with explosive diarrhea issues, especially like half the driving's like out in the country, because we lived out in the country and
right.
Like I go, I'm going to poop my pants. I'm going to poop my pants. And, which never happened, thank God. But,
Yeah, right.
Many times I've had to duck into Olive Garden or wherever. Be like,
I'll
unleash.
take a look at the menu in just a second.
Oh, excuse me.
Duck into an Olive Garden.
Yeah, the poop
You
stuff.
said when
So
you're here, you're family. I'm just
yeah.
saying.
No, that was a cool. As a little kid, that was a cool mall, though. Yeah, that was a big ass mall.
Because I mean, mall culture is kind of nostalgia now. So that's, I was wondering if
Yeah.
you, it because the mall experience you had recently is just blah, but back in the day that would have been like the thing to do.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, I don't see. I like my crew is different from their crew. Like my crew, like we would go to like the mall like a half an hour before it would close for some reason,
Yeah.
and then like make like the people stay late. Like I want to look at this.
Yeah, you bunch of
You got any
jerks.
Dracar Noir? Where's the Dracar Noir?
Where's the
We
jack
want to.
card?
Where is it? What was
I
the
need to buy
shoes?
an Izod shirt and some Dracar Noir.
Eyes.
And I want to get me one of
Yeah.
them pretzels before we leave.
No, yeah, yeah.
See,
That's
now
what
the people I hung out with at the mall just stole a lot of stuff.
yeah. Is there a mall around there?
By where I grew up, yes, there was a mall.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, I wouldn't guess that.
yeah.
I would think you just had like farmer markets and stuff like that.
No, there was a. It's still there. It's still there. I actually worked at the mall for a while.
What did you do?
I worked at a popcorn shop. You didn't know
What?
this?
No. How many goddamn jobs did you work? Gee, many Christmas.
Not that many. This was a short-lived. So
every week I talk to you. Oh yeah, I had a thing. I was a runner for a guy. Like, okay. And then I worked at McDonald's and I detasseled car,
right,
and then
yeah.
I worked at a sausage making
I did.
institution.
I worked at a meat packing plant. Yes.
I rented dirty videos to young people.
I did. I rented videos to people. Yes.
And UPS
I
or
worked
whatever the
at
hell
UPS.
else.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
You got them.
And
This is another one though. Yeah.
Jimmy Christmas.
This was a very short-lived job. So since I don't really have a story from today, I'll talk about this story. So.
All right.
So I got a job at the mall. So a friend of my brother's actually worked there, and he was a little bit older, a few years older, and he was like the assistant manager or something. And and so I got this job, and I worked at the mall at the popcorn shop. Right. They have like the center stage of the mall. The center area. So it was right off the center area, and I loved it. I thought it was a great job, and I think I did a pretty good. This is one of these moments growing up kind of a thing job.
Yeah.
So I worked there for like 3 months, and I was learning how to do stuff, and I thought I did pretty good. And
how old were you?
This would have been like late 16, early 17, something like that.
Okay. All right. Okay.
And because I went to work at McDonald's after this, so I was only there for 3 months. So my brother's friend trained me and everything, and then I was by myself for a month or so, and then in the last month, this other guy came in who was like older, like in his 20s or something, and I think he was married and had kids, and I was training him, and then the next thing you know, I got fired. I'm glad you can laugh about it.
I've never heard you say these words before, that you got fired. Wow.
Yeah, that's the only job I've been fired from. Yeah, but I don't think that I got fired because I was a lousy employee, because essentially everybody said I was doing a great job. It's just all of a sudden this kind of weird, kind of older guy shows up. And I believe the manager, who I didn't really have much interaction with, I think that it was some friend of hers or something. And
okay.
so I believe that, I mean, this is all hindsight. At the time, I had no idea what was happening, and I thought, well, I just suck, you know.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and so then, but shortly after that, I got kind of indications that that she had to make a spot open for this guy because she wanted to have him working there,
Oh.
and so I was the last low man, so I got cut.
Yeah.
So yeah, they fired me, and I was devastated. It was
But
devastating.
was it
Um,
on the spot? Like, yeah, don't come back tomorrow.
yeah, no, I trained this guy up, and as soon as he's trained up, they're like, "Oh well, we're gonna let you go." I'm like, "What?" I
you
trained this guy.
you trained your replacement.
I did.
Oh man.
It was so shitty. It was so
You
shitty.
you
I'm,
did it. You did it too well, man. You did it too well. You should have screwed up, man.
well, I don't know. Maybe I should have. I don't know. But yeah, I'm like, I was so confused because I was like, why in the world, if I'm so horrible at this job, would you have me
Yeah.
train this guy? I mean, I didn't
Yeah.
realize that until after the fact.
Yeah.
Um, and then I'm like, it was one of the, I'm stupid. And so it's like, this happens. And
Uh,
you're like, oh, I'm a terrible person. And then like, well, what were you doing? Well, I was
yeah.
training this guy. And they're like, well, that's what happened.
Yeah.
They just shat all over you. I'm like, what?
No.
No. Yeah, she seemed
Did they,
so nice, but she wasn't. So
I mean, did they give you any warning? Like, just don't
no,
come
not at
back
all.
tomorrow, or I
No,
mean, was it just like, okay, you're done?
pretty much.
I mean, if you're a family guy with kids, isn't that kind of a step back? Do you think? I mean, for
Oh yeah, that it's a total
you
step
know,
back. I wasn't even making $3 a fucking hour back then. You know what I mean?
I mean, I don't know. It just seems like, for a family guy, I'm like, wow, this is like a huge freaking.
I guess he really needed the job or something. But no, I mean it was not. Nobody talked to me about that. They're just like, oh hey, thanks Bob, you're doing great. Can you train Charlie here because he's gonna come on? And I'm like, oh sure, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do it. Yeah, I'll show you. And then I was nice to the guy and showed him the ropes and everything. And then it's like I come in and like, oh hey, you're not gonna work here anymore. Like what?
That is shitty, man. That is shit.
Yeah, what was shittier is the Charlie guy was standing right there, and I'm like looking at him like, what the fuck? Like this guy just started. I'm so bad. I'm not even as good as this guy.
So did the manager do it? She just come out like, hey,
Yeah, no, she was. Yeah, she was a terrible, horrible person. Yeah,
yeah.
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 It was like, and I'm like, what the?
What
But
the?
so yeah, I was kind of devastated by this because I'd never been fired. I mean, I
Did,
detasseled corn. I detasseled corn from the time I was 11 until
yeah.
I was old enough to have a job, and I even like
Yeah.
mowed grass and stuff like that in there too, and
Yeah.
and worked at a meat packing plant,
Mhm.
and so then yeah, I was like moping around, and then a friend of mine worked at the McDonald's across the street from the mall, and he's like, come over here, sign up, and you know, I'll ask them
Yeah.
if they're always hiring, and so I did, and then I worked at McDonald's for like 3 years.
Oh, well, that's probably a better gig anyway.
And I did everything there. That's a whole other ball of wax. I
Yeah.
won't go into that, but yeah, the popcorn shop. But the thing was, the I love working at the popcorn shop. I mean, I
Yeah.
love popcorn. Number one, you got to
I
take home
know.
the
I know
popcorn.
you do.
And then it just was a fun kind of
Yeah.
gig. You're hanging out and people come up and
Yeah.
you sell popcorn, say hi to everybody, and
Yeah.
it was kind of a fun gig. So
Oh, man.
yeah, devastating at the mall
Wow.
of all
Dang.
things. Yeah, but most of my friends who would go to the mall would steal things, and
Mhm.
they had a whole. This is like junior heist movie. So if you ever see Ocean's
Yeah.
11 and they have the heist
Uh-huh.
movie where they tell you how they put the acrobat in the little change
Yeah.
thing and he gets out and everything. So they had this whole system on how to steal albums because this was back when there were still albums, and And so what they, but it's not that complicated. But it'd be funny, in hindsight now, for nostalgia's sake, to go back and make a Ocean's
Yeah.
11 heist movie about stealing record albums.
Albums.
But what they would do is they would go to the mall, and then there's two music stores at the mall, and one was called Camelot. I don't know if you remember these places, and
I've heard of it.
one was called Music Land, and
Yeah, Music Land. Yeah.
and so the deal was you go to Music Land, and you'd buy a Rolling Stone magazine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because at Music Land, when you bought a Rolling Stone magazine, they gave you a big bag that would keep the Rolling Stone magazine flat.
Okay.
And then you would take your Music Land bag with your Rolling Stone magazine down to Camelot, and you could steal 10 albums.
The views of Bob Lumet don't necessarily reflect the views
I did not
of
do this. This was friends of mine.
I did not do it. Yeah.
I would go.
Tell me how
I
you
would go
steal
with.
popcorn.
I would go with them, and I would be looking at albums, and then they would.
Yeah.
So what they would do, I'm telling you, this is like Ocean's 11. You could hold the bag with one finger or two fingers on the edge,
Yeah.
on one end of it, right? And
Yeah.
then while you're looking at albums, you look around, and when none of the people are looking, you drop it into the bag.
Mm-hmm.
And you could hold 10 of them before it would be so heavy that you couldn't hold it nonchalantly.
Right.
And then you would leave, and the bag looked really, because it was it was a Rolling Stone was a big tabloid style magazine at that time.
Yeah. Yeah.
That it didn't look any bigger really.
Yeah. Right.
And you had a receipt for the Rolling Stone, and
Right.
and yeah, so I had a friend who I won't divulge his name, but he's a doctor now. But anyway, he had a killer record collection by the time we got out of high school.
Hey, man,
Because basically every week he would go steal 10 albums for the price of a Rolling Stone. Isn't that horrible?
And the guy's a doctor now. Great.
Yeah, he's a doctor now. Actually, him and his wife are doctors, but that's a whole other story.
And did they steal popcorn too? Maybe is that what happened?
No, I didn't. I didn't steal no stealing of popcorn or anything.
Yeah.
But no, they used to do that. I mean, they stole, and there was the other stolen story that I'll tell you about was, I don't remember how this is not like an Ocean's 11 kind of deal, but there was a KB toy store, and there was this thing, a video game, a handheld thing, before Game Boy, before Switch.
ColecoVision.
No, before Coleco.
No,
it was called a Slimline Racer, and it looked like a calculator screen, and you would race this car around the oval, right? And they probably cost, at the time, $100 a piece.
Yeah.
But they were not much bigger than like your regular little calculator,
Right.
And they had them at KB, and for whatever reason, they did not have them locked up. And I think they just stuffed them in their pants. And everybody at school had a Slimline Racer that year because they kept stealing them.
Oh my God. Jeez. Holy cow.
But kind of the piece de resistance of the theft from the mall that I witnessed was, there was this game called The Dark Tower, and you can go on YouTube and you can find the commercial for The Dark Tower, because Orson Welles did the voiceover for the Dark Tower commercial. It's a famous commercial. And it was it's huge. This game was an electronic game, like Electronic Battleship or something, but it was a D&D type thing called Dark Tower.
Yeah.
And it was this huge box that was almost probably 2 feet tall.
Oh wow.
And I watched my friend go to KB and they had him stacked up out front in like a pyramid thing, like at the front of the thing, because it was a kind of a hot game back then.
Yeah.
And I watched him with his feet while he was looking at the stack of games kick one around the corner so that they can't see it from the register.
Right.
And then when he left, he kicked it down the mall until he got far enough away and he picked it up and ran.
Oh my God.
He's like, I'm going to go steal the Dark Tower game. I'm like, you're so full of shit. And then it was over by the pennies, and I'm watching him from afar like, this asshole. And he did it.
Run, Mark, run.
No, it wasn't Mark.
Yeah.
No, that guy who did that, he's a systems administrator, so he takes care of everybody's email and stuff.
Oh my God.
I'm like, God damn, if he didn't do it.
Oh my God.
I'm
Jesus.
like, wow. I didn't think he'd do it, I'm like, oh my
He's
God.
got balls.
Yeah. Well, there's many, many, many more stories after that. This is the beginning of an industrious.
Oh my God. Is that why like albums are like $40 now when you go to?
No kidding. They're like, Musicland's like, well, we're not making nothing because the only thing anybody's buying is Rolling Stone magazine.
Yeah.
And Camelot's like, we're not selling shit.
Oh jeez.
Oh my gosh. The mall. You better go before it's gone.